Dressler, you make the point that there's very little empowerment for those who don't have a job. And as Ms. Forthgoth-Roth made note in her testimony, for women of prime working ages, there's actually 2 million fewer in the workforce today than there was before the recession began. Labor participation rate, how many are in that workforce, has actually declined as well. So for women of working ages, prime working ages, the economy has actually gone backward for them. So how do we get these women back to work? What are the obstacles, or what can Washington do to remove the obstacles so that the businesses that you referenced in your testimony will begin hiring again?
Well, I think the biggest thing that the government can do is to refrain from a lot of the policies that are currently being considered. The Paycheck Fairness Act and this increase in the overtime cap. These things are going to reduce flexibility because they're going to force employers to have one-size-fits-all pay scales, one-size-fits-all jobs that women don't want. Women in their prime working years often also have children, or they may have parents that they need to care for. And if they're going to have to accept either this job that is a defined job and there's no flexibility around that, or staying at home, they're often going to have to choose to stay at home because they can't meet a job that is not willing to accommodate them.
In your view, what impact has the Affordable Care Act had on hiring or on full-time employment for women?
I think the Affordable Care Act is going to have, well, it already has had some implications. It's reducing the hours that employees are offering, and that hurts women as well. A lot of women want to work part-time. It's also going to increase the marginal tax rates for women. Women are often second earners in their family, and if the median wage right now, there was a study by Casey Mulligan, an economist at the University of Chicago, who showed that the median earner, the marginal tax rate for them, is going to be 47% in 2016 as a result of the Affordable Care Act and all the other slew of government transfer programs and benefits. And this is not going to help working women or mothers who would like to enter the labor force, who are, they're maybe struggling, they're low to middle class, and they would like to start working so that they can have an additional income. If they're going to face a marginal tax rate of 47% and only be able to take home one of every $2 that they earn, they're unlikely to enter the labor force.
Thank you. Ms. Forthgoth-Roth. We're told that the capturing more workers in the overtime regulations, as the President's directed, would be a good thing for women. You have a different view. Could you go sort of deeper into that? Could you hit the microphone?
It would limit choices for women. So right now, if someone's earning around $23,000, $24,000 a year, and the employer asks them to work more, they're not allowed to take any time off in exchange. They have to be given overtime pay. And a lot of these women can't wait to move to higher income levels because then they get more flexibility. They get a choice of overtime pay or time off. And, young people these days, they're very keen on lifestyles. They want a lot of choice, and they want to be able to choose. So it would be really detrimental to extend the current overtime regulations to more women. And the President says, if you work more, of course, you should get paid more. Well, you find many kinds of jobs. For example, Mr. Chairman, when you work longer in Congress, you don't complain that you don't get overtime pay. You have a particular salary, and you know it consists of a certain number of hours. Same with people in many, many other professions. They get a salary, and they don't expect them to get paid overtime when they say stay late. Maybe they make up for it later. So I think it would be extremely detrimental.
Many women, the majority of part-time workers are women. Many face the absence of extra benefits at their work, including health insurance, retirement benefits. Full-time workers tend to be the ones with those additional benefits. So what would you recommend to encourage not only greater pension coverage and for workers, but also additional benefits for workers at smaller firms and those who work part-time?
Well, they should make sure that they're informed and that they take advantage of any IRAs that they have. And if you think that it's necessary to increase that IRA amount, then that IRA amount could be increased from $5,000 or $6,000 a year to maybe $10,000 a year, so that they have more room to save on their own. But I just want to say that part-time jobs are very desirable by many people. Many people actually, especially mothers, they prefer part-time jobs to full-time, and they would only work if they have part-time jobs. And also if they have more fewer benefits, they have a higher cash wage, if you see what I'm saying. So quite a lot of the growth in income, as can be seen from Table 8 of the excellent study that Dr. Shearholtz has written called Raising America's Pay. In Table 8, you can see that when benefits are included and a comprehensive measure of income is used, then income has risen substantially for many income groups, almost all income groups. But just on an hourly wage basis, that's not necessarily true because they're getting more benefits. So many people would prefer a higher cash wage to a lower cash wage and more benefits.
Thank you. Senator Lee?